All right. For many of you who've been familiar with Indian Trace for a while, you're used to moving day videos. And what a moving day is for those of you who are new, and this group right here that you're looking at is my top finds for about the last 2 months. And the finds that I speculate about moving into my display really strongly. Sometimes there are a couple, two, three in this group that I'm still going to find another good home for. Sometimes there are not. But I want to take a close look at these in cleanup form because I don't really get in the habit of making cleanup videos. So we'll talk about some of these pieces that came in the last couple months. Outstanding pieces in their own right. So just take a little extra time with that. And I talked to people from here to California who said, it's just as good as a museum. And it is. I mean, I could have never imagined when I had a fascination as a little boy to be able to maybe see a video like this and just get up close and personal to North American Indian artifacts that were just found, within that month, 2 months. You think, when you're in a museum, man, these must have been found 100 years ago, 200 years ago. With we who collect, that's not the way it is, right? Many of you on here have seen these when they were found, but this is a good natural light in here, and if they were wet, it'd take on a really great different appearance. They're beautiful now, great now. I mean, like the banded Rhyolite here. So we'll check out some of these and go around and make mention of them. Again, the overview, for those of you who are new, is that after today, these will become a history lesson. They're going to be moved into my displays in my display box, and then a simple basket like this will begin again. And I pop them in there. I might find this piece or this piece and say, man, I want to keep that, or I want to move it in my display. And so I take it and just pop it in there. That's the way it works. And after 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, you come out with a group like this. In between that time, there's a bunch of pieces that many of you, especially you guys who are new, have seen that I'll try to condition and stylize giveaways. That's just a method that I try to work on Indian Trace. So, appreciate all the support. Let's take a look at these and we'll just go right around. Nice piece of quartz here. Every square inch of this piece has been intentioned. It's a really strong piece. You can see it's balanced and made well to do its job. I think I found that at Notchville. It's easy to find a home for little ones. They're easy to find homes. These big ones are hard to find homes for in my displays and the way I have things arranged. They gobble up a lot of room, as you guys who, have frames and whatever can imagine. Here's a piece that I found live on Backside Cove. Man, the natural light's good. Might be a common point style for around here. I do not know. All I know is I sort of follow my heart based on the ones I will keep and not. I absolutely do. Whether it's a style that's really rare or not, it doesn't really matter to me. If I love it, I keep it. It's sort of like love it or list it, right? And listen, don't get me wrong, I don't sit around watching HGTV. That is for sure. Look at this. This point and this point were found in the same exact video. This one was found sort of live, and then this one is the one I turned the video on for. Wow, this light's good in here. So although it might look a little rough compared to that really great flint, and look at the variations around this place. Look at the base on this. Beautiful. It would have delivered that devastating, flesh-tearing impact from an atlatl, that's for sure. This one, I believe, of course, is a blade. found at Crystal Loop recently on video. The little teeny bit was sticking up from the base. And I was there for about the fourth or fifth time, and nothing has changed there in terms of conditions. But I know myself. I miss things all the time. It's human nature. I've persuaded myself to accept that as a reality. And so I'll go back. And you guys who hunt streams, I bet it's the same way. Ron, you'll have to tell me. It's got to be the same way. I'm persuaded it is. That we just do not see as we should see. Look at this. Site 2. Just last week. Cleaned up Rhyolite. I know Ken will like these up in New York, where he's able to see because he's an absolute modern master napper. And same with you, Rob. You can see how these things are made, and masters flake these things out. Beautiful. Beautiful jobs. And talking about Rhyolite like that one, here's another Rhyolite. Different period, probably separated by hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, really. Look at this. Found across the county. This is found at the Lookout in an old cotton field. I just decided to go and work it, and it was there. The light's perfect in here. It's absolutely gorgeous color on that. I'm trying hard to do my focus and camera work the best I can. Which way we'll go around? This way. W property point, just missing the tip, but I like these chunky quartz points. I have considerations about this though. I love it, but I'm thinking someone might need it, love it more than me. I've got a ton. I mean, I find too much comparably to some of you out there who just don't have the opportunity, you don't have the sites. That's why I do this stuff. Now, there is something special going to happen with the giveaway that's up right now, which I will draw in about a day. And I'm going to do a constellation drawing, so there are some pieces that are getting into that constellation, and it will be a constellation. It won't be a better prize than the first prize, but I think it'll be significant. Point from Saponi. Rhyolite. I guess you might want to call it banded rhyolite, but it's fun nevertheless. It's a great one. Not really banded. It's just some kind of rhyolite that's mixed, marbled in there. This is banded rhyolite. Site 4. Most of these points were found off of sites that have gone through the winter and were definitely not in what you or I would call really good conditions at all. Not at all. I mean, even this point, which we'll look at, this Clovis base, was about 5 inches away from a footprint, and there were tons of footprints that walked across that field. I think it was just a walker that usually walks the field, not looking for artifacts. I think somebody just has their daily walk, sort of tell by their tracks. Look at this piece. Site 7, way out there, and I found a shed that day. I remember now. Perfect in every way, right? I don't want this to drag on too long, but I just wanted to give justice to each of these before they move on to the next phase of their life. Crystal loop. Interesting. I'm looking here for a second. Hang on. No, I don't think so. I thought there was another one here that I found at Crystal Loop. Yeah, this one. Found the same day right here. Those two. From the same site. This one right here and this one. It's a classic arrowhead shape, but I just love it. One good thing about this point is the relief on the back edge where they hafted it. Very ground. I always love the relief on the bases. Old break there, look at the beveling down the edge. That didn't happen from impact. You can tell from the tip. And then there is the relief on the back. That's really a great point. There's no doubt about it. Love it. Not leave it. Here's a point right here from Smoke Top. A deer kicked this one out. It is almost a uniface. Look at this. But neat thing about this, and look, see the bevel on the edges? And then the relief off the back, almost to the middle, absolutely on purpose. Every inch of this thing is worked. If you had it in your fingers, you could tell. And on the other side, it's beveled down the back side of this. Well, if it's quartz, you know masters were just doing that, flaking it out. That's a good point. It's a good find. Appreciate that, dear. Because listen, it's off season pretty much. This was off season finds. And wanted to give you a close up. I know I didn't look at the other two yet. But like I said, this one with the footprints by it, the neat thing about this, and Flint's Ball recognized it, is this actually has such a different polish. What a different material than all this. We're talking about rhyolites up here. Quartz, banded rhyolites, very familiar around here. I think this is C-type. This is soapstone. We'll get to that. Took a close look at that and scratched it. Not as in to hurt it, don't get me wrong. Very common materials. This is not. Different time period altogether. Man, focus. Different time period, everybody. It has a polish to it. Flint's Ball noticed it. It's clear Clovis. No doubt about it. Small, but clear flutes. Picking up the polish too. It feels perfectly polished. That's not been broken right there. That is a quartz vein. Sure looks like it's been broken and glued, doesn't it? But I found it just like that. And look, you can know when I go out there, I'll be looking for the other half. I know exactly the spot I found it. Can't sieve, can't dig. It's just not the site area that I can do that in. But that is unique material in a new break. Man, imagine if that was full. I mean, geez. Anyway, here's a piece I found. Ridgecrest. Look at that drill. Banner stone. And C-tight. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Soapstone. Super polished. Would have been a thing of beauty. I never really seen a banner stone like that, but you can see the drill channels. That'll join maybe. You know, I have about 6. And people say, oh, that's a lot. This will make it 7, but that's not a lot compared to 16,000 artifacts that I brought in. Yeah, I know the site where I found that, and everybody shouts out, you know, you might find the other half. I might. You never know. I don't get obsessed about it. You know, you just keep moving forward and do your best. A little bit longer video. Bring you into the secret world of Indian trace, right? But with all that said, and all that done, the last 2 months or so, those are my top finds. Stay tuned. If you haven't entered the giveaway, you have mere hours. And I hope you find out there, everybody. Be well. You know that right there? Look at this, watch. Aesthetic adjustments, right? Some of you guys and girls, you know exactly what I'm doing when I do all this. It's for still shots. It's also just for aesthetics. Be well.